of organizations as well as of individuals. And I know all of you are working for peace and justice and environmental support and so many other great important activities all the time, and I really appreciate that. Could I have your attention, please? Everyone? Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Thank you. Great. Okay. I just want to mention the people's names who this dinner is being dedicated in honor of. And in the last half of your program, there's 3 pages of some local peacemakers who've died in the last year. And we just want to recognize those people and appreciate the work they've done over the years. And, you know, remember them. I think they're a real inspiration to all of us. So I hope you'll look in your program. There's 3 pages that have some of those local peacemakers. Their names are Pat Nichols, Burnham Terrell, Marion McWhorter, Mama Yanaide, Carol de la Madrid, and, you know, we may have missed some, I apologize, but if we could have just a moment of silence to recognize them. Okay, thank you very much. And I want to also thank the many people who worked to help make this dinner possible. It's a really big operation, and you know, there's so many people that helped with so many ways, and many of them are also noted on the inside the program booklet. I won't mention them all by name. There's so many of them here, but I really thank each and every one of you, and the people who we didn't put in, whose names we didn't put in. But could I ask you to stand, please, if you helped with preparations for the dinner or all the other work that many of you done? Could you stand, please? Because we want to thank you. And I know there were others who couldn't be here tonight, but who also helped make the dinner possible. So thank you so very much. So, well, let's see. What is this here? What is this? What's going on? What is this? Let's see. So, what's happening here?
We're with Peace Cup. We're with Peace Cup Camp Houston, and we want everybody to be able to participate with Peace Camp.
Peace Camp. Wow. All right. So, Tim, could you stand right over here so people can see all of you? Thank you. So, tell us who you are.
I'm Felix.
And who else is with you?
Anastasia, Prudence, and my mom.
Okay, well, thanks to all of you for coming here. So why are you here? Or what would you like to do? I forgot what I was supposed to say, sorry. They know their lines, I know. Yes.
Because we have some ideas for this,
So you want to tell us something about what Peace Camp is like?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what sort of things do you do, or what do you want us to do?
We could do yoga over there, and if you want to do meditation or learn how to control your anger, you could go over there, and we could set up tie-dye over there.
Wow, that sounds really exciting. You know, I'm not sure we have time for that tonight, though. But is there anything else that you'd like to do?
Well, our music teacher taught us some quotes.
Some quotes. Are those the one that's in the back of the program booklet?
Yes. Yes.
On the, let's see, where are they?
On the last page.
Okay. And the inside that cover, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead. Whatever you're going to do.
Mic check. Mic check. From the depths.
From the depths.
Of need and despair.
Of need and despair.
People can organize themselves.
People can organize themselves.
Solve their own problems.
To solve their own problems.
And fill their own needs.
And fill in their own needs.
With dignity and strength.
With dignity and strength.
Cesar Chavez.
Thank you. Very good. Do you have another one?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Mic check.
Mic check.
If I know anything at all.
If I know anything at all.
Is that a wall is just a wall.
It's just a wall. It's just a wall.
And nothing at all.
And nothing more at all.
It can be broken down.
It can be broken down.
Asada Shakur.
Thank you so much. This is great. Well, I want to thank you so much for interrupting me and and giving. Let's give them a thank you. You know, these are some of our future activists, and I just want to thank you for being here and appreciate all the great things that the Peace Camp people do and learn that they don't get to learn in regular schools. So thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Let's see. Is Marty Troyer here? Marty, where are you? Oh, good. Well, I'll turn this over to Marty Troyer for a minute for the invocation. Oh, before we do that, if you have empty seats at your table, could you raise your hand for the people who are waiting? So just hold them up for a minute, and then the people who are waiting to sit down can sit at one of those seats. Unless you know somebody's coming that's not there. Okay, thank you. Marty Troyer is the pastor of the Houston Mennonite Church. He's the peace pastor. I believe he still has a blog in the Houston Chronicle, is that right? Correct. And the Mennonite Church also hosts our meetings and many of our committee meetings and board meetings and other activities that the Houston Peace and Justice has. So we really thank the church and especially Marty. He's been so supportive of the Houston Peace and Justice Center. So thank you, Marty. Thank you.
I love this city, and I imagine you love it too. I love our diversity and the diversity we experience here today. I love our ridiculously hubristic skyline and our underperforming sports teams, although the Rockets are doing really great. One of the things that I'm not so sure I love about Houston, though, is our lack of an imagination. I'm not sure that we always imagine ourselves for what we really can be. Now, that's not necessarily true of this crowd. I believe that we are the Imaginarians in Houston. But we live in a city that can't imagine itself out of the box of anti-science, that still imagines that children who are immigrants are somehow a problem. We live in a world where Muslims who are our brothers and sisters, our neighbors, and coworkers are still inordinately stopped by the FBI and interrogated. And so one of the things I want to show you today is a garden tool. And 2 weeks ago, this garden tool was a .22 handgun. And it has been beaten into a plowshare of sorts. And as I invite you to add your blessing to mine, I invite you to use your imagination to imagine this city for all that it can be. Would you please add your blessing to mine, my dear imagination friends? God, we gather tonight as people of good faith and goodwill. Help us to imagine. Help us to dream again, universal shared values like those of Islam, of peace and respect for diversity. Help us to imagine the beautiful new world that's being created out of the midst of the old. It's a world filled with justice, joy, and peace. Some in the Christian tradition call this the beloved community. Help us to imagine. God, help us to imagine ourselves as those who tear down the walls that the Peace Camp kids talked about. Help us to spread peace in a word and in deed by tearing down the walls of nationalism, race, class, dehumanization, oppression, homophobia, ableism, patriarchy. 100 lies that separate us from them. Help us to tear down the walls of empire, colonialism, consumerism, capitalism, the myth of redemptive violence. God, help us to build up, not just to tear down or to protest, but to build up, as the Jewish faith speaks of tikkun olam, to build up and to repair our world, to see ourselves as ordering the world, and to finish that which you have started. Truly, God does not change the condition of a people until they change what is in themselves, says the Quran 13, verse 11. We are the prophets. We are the agents of change in this world. Folks like Moses, who confronted Pharaoh and led his people out of oppression. People like the prophet Muhammad, who enacted rules to prevent people from taking advantage of one another in business. And people like Jesus, whose action transformed us from the inside out. Bless those of us here tonight who choose to live and to work for peace and justice in this city and around the world. We're here at this banquet to celebrate that you are working, God. Throughout all religions and people, you are working. We're here because leaders like Medea Benjamin and Robert Bullard have called us to tear down injustice and imagine a living alternative. We're here because that's where you're already at work, in the streets and the brokenness in Houston. And as we look around this room tonight, help us to see that we are not alone. We are part of a community and a movement that can sustain and enliven us. Help us to see that being on the margins, with you working for justice and peace, is exactly where we need to be. God bless our food this evening and the workers who have prepared and served it. May their work be meaningful and provide a living wage. Give them and all workers in this city the dignity of having a voice in their own future. And give us, children, adults, people of good faith and goodwill, the courage to speak for those who have been silenced. Amen. May this be a symbol of us to imagine the city as it can be, and may we together beat our swords into plowshares.
Thank you. That was Marty Troyer, the Peace Pastor. Thank you so much. And something he mentioned I want to thank also. I want to appreciate the wait staff here, all the servers and the people here at the hotel who are helping us be comfortable and enjoy our food today. So thank you, all of you. And now I'd like to introduce Dave Atwood. He's a former president of the Houston Peace and Justice Center and is our treasurer and many other things. Very active activist. Dave.
You can go ahead and start eating if you're holding up on it. Don't stop because of this. Okay, can people, if you've got an empty seat at your table, could you raise your hand? Okay. And we thank, okay, that's good. I think you got it. We thank you for your patience in the seating. We have a plan for it, but it doesn't always work out just exactly like that. We have a special guest with us tonight, in addition to Medea Benjamin. Diane Wilson is co-founder of Code Pink. She's right down here. Diane, welcome. And thank you everybody for coming and all the honorees that are here tonight. It's a wonderful evening. I'm just going to say a couple of words about the Houston Peace and Justice Center. A lot of this information is in the HPJC brochure, which is on your table, and it's on the website. I'm just going to mention a couple of things. We are a nonprofit organization. We do not have any paid staff. We're all volunteers. Everything that happens with HPJC is a volunteer operation. We would like to have an executive director, but we can't afford one. So if anybody wants to help us with that, we'll welcome that. We have 5 areas of focus. One is military and foreign policy. Another one's environmental justice, human rights and criminal justice, economic justice, and teaching peace to families and children. So if you're interested in HPJC, you can get plugged into any one of those areas, and it's very broad. There's room for everybody. We sponsor a major conference every year. This last year, it was on environmental justice with Dr. Bullard at TSU. It was a wonderful conference. Next year, we're going to have a conference on military and foreign policy. The most important thing I want to mention to you is that we're an organization that wants to help other groups in the city. We are not just doing our own thing. If you come to us, if you've got an idea for a program, or if you want to start a grassroots organization of some sort, we will help you with that. We want to see everybody succeed, everybody to do well in their areas of interest. So if you have something you want to talk to us about that's sort of been burning on your mind that you want to go forward with, talk to somebody like Bill Crozier or myself, Cheryl, anybody with HPJC, and we'll help you out with that. So enjoy your meal, and we'll carry on. Thank you very much.